Hi folks, welcome to TELUS World of Science Edmonton. My name's Jen. We're going to start off with our very first challenge. We're going to be doing My Robot Friend Challenge. So let's get started on our robot challenge for today. So most of you probably have an idea in your head of what a robot looks like. Maybe it's a BB-8 from Star Wars, or maybe it's some sort of villain like from Terminator. Maybe some of you guys have met Dash before. Dash is a pretty cool robot designed just for kids. First of all, how is a robot like a computer? So both robots and computers are powered by electricity. Okay? They both turn on and off. And they're both given a set of instructions. So they're both programmed to do a job. And those jobs are usually both to make our lives easier. So far, computers and robots are pretty similar, aren't they? So how are they different? Robots have the ability to think and make decisions. So we can put things like sensors on robots. So just think about how you have 5 senses, right? Your eyes, you can smell, you can touch, you can taste, and you can hear. Those are your 5 senses. But robots can have sensors on board too. So like our friend Dash here, he has a sensor that lets him tells him when there's things in front of him, which is really, really cool. Dash here can determine if there's something in front of him, what should he do if there's something in front of him. Should he still run into it, smash and create a big crash, or should he do something to avoid it? A computer engineer or another type of programmer, they have to program a robot to be able to make those decisions when necessary. The second question is, what's the difference between a robot and robots really can't make decisions that haven't been pre-programmed. So robots are still limited by whatever instructions the human programmer gave to them. So the ability to be creative and kind of expand beyond their program, well, that's a new area of science that you can get into called artificial intelligence. But that's for another day. We're not going to worry about that today. Okay, so enough about robots. We are going to get down into our instructions. For this challenge, you are going to need some Lego pieces. So I know that's really hard for you to find at home, I'm sure. So you're gonna have to dig out your Lego and look for some very specific pieces. Okay, so now if you don't have your Lego all ready to go, that's okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go through the pieces, and then you can pause the video and then go actually look for them in your house. And then when you're ready and you have them all in front of you, you can unpause the video and we'll start the activity. The first thing you're going to need to know is the different types of Lego blocks that we're going to be using. And it doesn't have to be Lego, it could be any sort of building block that is like Lego. So the first Lego block that we're going to use, okay, so this is a pretty standard Lego block. It is called a brick. Now the Lego brick is the thicker sort of standard size of Lego, and it comes in all sorts of different shapes and sizes. And then there's the block, and then we also have the plates. So the plates are the thinner pieces of Lego, and actually if you stack 3 plates on top of each other, you will get the same thickness as one of the Lego bricks. Okay, so
these are plates, and this is a Lego brick. Okay, so that's how we tell the difference between those two main types. But now we need to be able to tell the difference between their sizes. So if I go back to our Lego brick, the way that we describe their shape and size is usually by the number of studs, these little bumps all over the top of the Lego brick. So first, on the short side, there's 2 studs, and on the long side, there's 4 studs. So we call this a 2x4 brick because it's a thicker brick. Okay, if we go to, let's grab one of these guys. This one, it has 2 studs on this side, and then it also has 2 studs down the other side. So this would be a 2x2 brick. Okay, now luckily, it's the exact same rule for the plates. So if I grab this plate here, on the short side we have 2 studs, and on the long side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 studs or bumps. So this is a 2x8 plate. Okay, so all together, this is what you're going to need. You are going to need 6 of the 2x4 Lego bricks. You are going to need 4 of the 2x3 Lego bricks. You're going to need 8 of the 2x2 Lego bricks. You're going to need 6 of the 1x2 Lego bricks. You're going to need 2 of the 1x1, just one little bump there, Lego brick. And then that's it for the bricks. And now for the plates, we have 1 2x6 plate. We have 1 2x8 plate. And we have, on our last piece, it's a 4x8 plate. We have our Lego, and we know a little bit more about robots. So the important thing now is setting up our activity so that we can have a lot of fun with this today. So for today, I am going to be a robot programmer, just for the first time today. And then for the first time going through this, you are going to be the robot. And I am going to program you to make a beautiful Lego robot sculpture. Now, if you have any siblings or other family members at home that want to participate, that is totally fine. Just make sure that you aren't able to see each other's creations. So if that means that you have to take a large book and put it up between the two of you, then that's a good idea so that you can't see what each other are building. Okay? So what I'm going to do is I am going to use a program, a step-by-step sort of instructions to tell you how to build a Lego robot sculpture. Okay? So here's the thing, is you're not going to be able to see my Lego while I'm building my structure. You're just going to be able to build your structure based on my instructions that I'm going to give to you by speaking. Okay? So trust me, it's a lot of fun. It's a little tricky, but you're going to get into it and you're going to have a great time with this. Okay? And the end results are always hilarious. So first, I want you to look at those Lego pieces you've assembled, and I want you to find, doesn't matter which color, I want you to find the build the Lego plate that is the size, it's the 4 by 8 Lego plate. Okay, so I want you to pick up that piece and I want you to set it in front of you so that the long side, the side with the 8 studs on it, is facing you. Okay, so that's our very first piece. Remember, it's the 4 by 8 plate, that's the thinner block. Okay, and it's going to be placed in front of you so that the long edge is facing you. Okay, first step done. Whew. First step's always the hardest, right? Okay, so the next step is I want you to go back to your Lego pieces and I want you to find a Lego brick. Remember, that's the thicker one. I want you to find the 2 by 4. Again, it doesn't matter what color. Okay, we're going to grab a Lego brick 2 by 4 and we're going to take that and we're going to put it on our 4 by 8 build plate. Okay, but I want you to place it along, I want you to line up the 4 stud side on the plate with the 4 stud side of the 2 by 4 brick you just picked up, and I want you to put it on the far left side of the plate. Okay, so the two sides with the 4 studs are going to be lined up together, and the brick that we just picked up is now going to be on the far left side of the plate. Okay, so far so good? All right, we're going to do almost the exact same thing. So grab another 2 by 4 brick. Okay, again, any color. Only this time we're going to put it on the far right side. Okay, so the exact same orientation. So orientation means how it's facing you, okay, as the first brick we laid down, the first 2 by 4 brick, but this time we're going to put it at the very other end of the build plate. Okay, so there we go, step 3 done. Okay, next I want you to find, let's grab 2 of the 2 by 3 bricks. Okay, so remember, we're grabbing 2 of them. Again, it doesn't matter which color. And this time, we're going to take the first one and we are going to place it, if we're looking at the build plate in front of us, we're going to place it in the far back left corner on top of that first 2 by 4 brick, so that it's sitting right on top of that brick. Okay, so that means that the 2 by 3, the short side, the 2 studs, are actually sitting back 1 row of studs from the first brick we laid down. Okay, and the whole brick is now sitting in the back left corner. We're going to do the exact same thing with the other 2 by 3 brick, but on top of our second 2 by 4 brick. So it's going to be going in the far right corner. See there? Kind of looks like we're making a step almost. Okay. So the next step is actually really easy. We are going to grab the other 2 by 3 bricks. Okay, so there should be 2 left, so we're going to grab those. And we're going to take both of those bricks and put them on top of the other 2 by 3 bricks that we just put down. So one goes on top of the left side and one goes on top of the right side. Okay? All right. So now let's see, what do we have left? Okay, I want you to find your 2 by 8 Lego plate. Okay, so remember that's the thinner piece again. So we're going to take the 2 by 8 plate and we're going to put it on top of those 2 sort of towers that we've started building with the other pieces of Lego. So if you're looking straight up and down on top of it, it's going to be covering the back half of the bottom Lego plate. Okay, so the long side, the 8 studs, is going along the very back, and then the 2 studs are going to cover 2 of the studs on those 2 by 3s we just laid down. Okay, is everyone going along so far? I know it gets tricky. It's hard to do something when you can't actually see it and you're just listening to verbal instructions. But you guys are doing great. Don't stop now. You're doing a great job. Okay, here we go. So now I want you to grab another 2 by 4 brick. Okay, grab another 2 by 4 brick. And what we're going to do is we're going to place that right smack dab in the middle of that last plate, the 2 by 8 that we put down. Okay, there we go, right smack dab in the middle. And then we're going to grab, let's grab 2 more. So 2 more of the 2 by 4 bricks and stack those on top of each other, right on top of that last one we put in the middle there. So that's a second one on top, and now a third one. Okay, so now we should have 3 2 by 4 bricks stacked on top of each other in the middle of that most recent plate. Okay, so now it should kind of look like we've got 2 legs going on, 2 feet, and this part we just built with the 2 by 4s is looking like it's making kind of a tummy area on our sculpture. Okay, so next let's grab another plate. We're going to grab the 2 by 6 plate. Okay, so we're going to take the 2 by 6 plate and we're going to put that on top of the very last brick we put on, and we're going to center it. So what that means is, because the last brick had, the longest side had 4 studs, that means on this 2 by 6 plate, we're actually going to have 1 stud overhanging on the left side, well actually 2 studs overhanging on the left side and 2 studs hanging over on the right side. Okay, we're getting so close, guys. We're almost there. Okay, so now this part is the tricky part. Okay, so what I want you to do is grab one of your 1 by 2s. So one of your 1 by 2 bricks, and I want you to turn it but in your hands so that the long side, the 2 studs, is facing you. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to stick it underneath that overhang at the front. So remember that build plate, the 2 by 6 build plate we just put on? So now we're sticking this underneath it in the front left corner, so that now there's 1 little stud from that piece sticking out, overhang, and it should look kind of like the beginnings of an arm hanging out. Okay, and now we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. So we're going to grab another 1 by 2 brick, And we're going to turn it in our hand so that the long side is facing us. And then we're going to pop it underneath the right side of that overhanging plate at the front right corner. So then we have another hand sticking out the side. Okay, so now what does our robot need? We have legs, we have a tummy, we have hands. I think we need to start working on his head. Okay, so to do that, let's go and grab a 2x2 brick. Okay, and again, it doesn't matter which color. I'm going to choose a red 2x4. Okay, but you can choose whatever color you want. And we're going to put it in the very middle of that 2x6 brick. Okay, there we go, there's a neck. Almost there, almost there. I think we have 3 pieces left. Okay, I want you to grab the last 2x4 brick, and we're going to stick that on top of that 2x2, but we're going to center it again so there will be overhanging studs on either side. There's our head. Okay. And then you know what else I think we're missing? I think we're missing little sensor antennae. So I want you to grab the 2 single stud pieces, the single stud bricks, the 1x1s. And I'm going to stick them on the 2 front corners of that 2x4 brick head. Okay, just like so. You know what? I'm pretty happy with that the way that turned out. So now we get to put the camera on our robot here, and we're going to see how yours turned out and see if I was a good programmer for programming you to make the sculpture the exact same way that I made mine. Okay? Let's see.
To compare it. So, does it look like mine? Does it look a little different? Does it look completely different? It's okay if it looks completely different in any way, shape, or form. The point of this activity is to show you how complex and detailed instructions have to be in programs and why you have to be very, very specific. One of my favorite games to play with a group of kids is a programming how to build a sandwich game. So if you're ever sitting around the breakfast or the dinner table with your family, try it. Try and make a program to build a sandwich and step by step see if you can do it without making a mistake. But anyways, if your sculpture turned out just a little different, that's great. If it turned out completely different, that's awesome too. It means my instructions could have been a little better. If it turned out exactly like mine, you were listening really well and were able to figure out my instructions really well. So good job to you guys as well. So I hope you had a lot of fun with this activity today. And I encourage you after watching this video to try it again, take apart the Lego, play it with your siblings or your other family members. Just make sure you have a barrier so that you can't see each other's structures. And make sure you take turns being the programmer or the robot and vice versa so that it's fair on both sides. Anyways, I hope you guys had a great time, and I hope you can join me again next week for Maker Monday. We'll be posting the materials list on Thursday every week so that you can assemble your materials ahead of time. You can follow us on social media, use the hashtag MakerMonday, and show us your pictures of your really cool inventions and devices. And have a great week, everyone.